Hello, welcome to the kitchen. It's your man from the shed in the kitchen today because we're going to do some cooking. So we're going to make a quick and very tasty butternut squash and aubergine salad, which is perfect for this time of year when it's hot. Nice Mediterranean feel to it. So a quick run through of the ingredient. Hello there. So we've got ourselves butternut squash and aubergine, a garlic, a lemon, a red onion, some feta cheese, a tin of lentils which has been drained, olive oil, some honey, some ground coriander, some bougainvillea, some salt, and that's it really. And I'll put a stock cube in when I cook the bulgari. So really simple recipe, like I say, and I'm going to give you a step-by-step view of how we do this, and I'll show you what it looks like in the end. Okay, so what we're going to do is show you how to peel and prepare a butternut squash. It's quite easy, but you do need to make sure you have a good sharp knife. Ideally a cook's knife is ideal. Just make sure it's sharp, make sure you sharpen it every time you use it. Keep the blade sharp, makes your life a lot easier. So I'm just going to adjust it down to the board. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. So what I'm going to do is take the end off, take the other end off. Now this end here has the seeds in, and you'll see there's a slight ridge, so I'm going to cut it in half, simply so it's easier to peel. So you peel it like I would peel a swede. So you're literally just going to go down and go round. By doing this, you're going to remove the skin. You can see there's a slight line from where the skin is. Just do it in a way which you find comfortable. Doesn't take long. And obviously with this dish you can change whatever you want in it. If you don't like aubergine, then don't use aubergine, use something else. You could use courgettes, for example. You could use tomatoes. It's your dish to make your own. I saw a version of this and I've just do my own version of it. Basically I use my own measurements and my own flavourings, because this is being cooked for myself and my wife is a vegetarian. I will use vegetable stock. It's one of those things that you could use chicken stock for if you so wish. Not really sure why you would in a vegetable dish, but there you go. So I'm just going to cut it into sixes here. You can go to half or however you want to do it, but what we want to do is take out the seeds. Now you can toast the seeds and use the seeds, it's entirely up to you, but I'm just going to use my paring knife, and I just want to get rid of that central part, keeping most of the flesh. So it's all peeled out, so you can see where the the pips and that were, but then I removed. So you just want to dice them up slightly, into 3 will be fantastic. You want them all to be a similar sort of size and shape, because that means that they will cook evenly. But it's a rustic peasanty type dish, so it doesn't have to be perfect squares. We're not looking to get this one 3 Michelin stars. But it does have good flavour and it's easy to do, and it doesn't take long. It takes half an hour to cook this, and it takes about 15 minutes to prepare. You know, I'm doing this at no great pace, but obviously if you want to go faster you can. If you want to go slower, just do it at your own pace. It's not a race. So with these ones, that'll be easier to control, and that'll be a better shape. So you're looking for about 1cm dice, so they go into about 4. Do that again. There's nothing complicated about cutting this up. You know, it's an easy dish to do. Get 5 out of them because I've gone a little bit smaller, but that does not matter. Say it's a simple, tasty dish. Just because it's vegetarian doesn't mean it has to be boring. Okay, we're now going to move on to cooking the bulgur. So in here we've literally just got some water, just to bring up to the boil, with an oxo in, a vegetable oxo, just to give it a little bit of flavour. It's already almost there. You literally only want about 1cm of water. Okay, so now the water is close to boiling. I'm going to put my bulgur wheat in. So it's just a small sort of ramekin type bowl, about half filled, probably about 125 grams in there. Just pour it in. Give it a quick stir. And what I'm waiting for now is this to return and become boiling. Once it boils, I'm just going to put it onto simmer, pop a lid on it, and allow it to simmer away. Whilst that is happening, what we're going to do is we're going to go to my foot, get you up so you can see me again. Hello, there we are. I'm going to get myself onto a bowl. My wife's beautiful mixing bowl. Nice bit of pink on there. Who doesn't want a bit of pink? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I'll show you, not really. Put my butternut squash in the bowl. Great, wouldn't it? Imagine watching a cooking program where they don't show you what they're going to do. How funny would that be? So, I'm going to get a spoon. Couple of teaspoons of coriander powder, ground coriander over top. Okay, so that is now boiling, so I'm just going to turn that down, pop the lid on, and give that about 10 minutes or so. So in here, so it's all mixed up, we get some olive oil, pour a bit of olive oil over it. So because the aubergine cooks a bit quicker, we are going to do the buttermilk, so the butternut squash first. So it's going to get a oven ready pan and pour it in there. Get it all out. The more olive oil you get on there, the more flavour you're going to get in there. Give it a good mix up and try not to have it so you get too much on top of each other. Break it up, make sure it's all coated. Add a bit of salt because that will bring out the flavour as well. Not too much salt because I will be told off by the wife. I'm just going to pop that in the oven. So I've preheated the oven to 180 degrees because that's what I want. I'm going to use the same bowl. I'm not going to clean the bowl at the moment because I'm going to do the same again, but this time with me aubergine. Like I say, if you prefer, you can use courgette, you can use anything really, anything. You know, it's your dish to change. So I'm going to add a little bit more of the ground coriander, probably a teaspoon in there. Let's go down so you can see it. Give it again a little mix up so that all of it is coated. And then olive oil, again, if you don't have olive oil, vegetable oil or sunflower oil will be absolutely fine. So this is going to go in for about 20 minutes, where the butternut squash is going to take about half an hour or so. So I'm just going to stick it into another pan, tin or whatever you've got, whatever you can use in the oven. And that is that ready to go in the oven in about 10 minutes or so. So as I say, it's nice, simple salad dish. You can have it warm or cold, it doesn't really matter. Do apologise for that squeak, that's my shoes on the floor making a horrible noise. So in our pan here, we're just going to fry the onions to start them off. So touch of olive oil, make sure your pan isn't too hot because you don't want to brown them, you just want to cook them until they go slightly translucent. I've cut them sort of similar size to I've cut the courgette and so the aubergine and the butternut squash. It will break up because onions just will. So take your wooden spoon or your spatula or whatever, just break them up a little bit, give them a couple of minutes in there, and then add a bit of salt, and that will help them to give it a flavour, bring the flavour out, but also just help them to cook, help bring the water out of them. Okay, so the onions have been cooking away for a little while, not got too much colour on them. I put in a bit of garlic, put them down, to give them a little bit of extra flavour. A little stir in, cook that out for a minute so that the garlic isn't tasting too raw. See, there's a little bit of colour on the onion, but it's not too much, so that will be a bit of extra flavour. You don't want them to become too crispy, you don't want them to become overly cooked. Just cook them nice slowly. So once that's been in a bit and you can start to smell those lovely onions, I'm going to put in mid-drained lentils. Got these out of a can. You can buy lentils and you can soak them overnight if that's what you want to do. But these tinned ones, I find I get tins of lentils in Asda or little pouches in Sainsbury's. Not sure what Tesco's do, never bought them there. But there's plenty of places where you can buy lentils, it's not a problem. Everything on this is easy to buy from any local supermarket. Don't have to go to any specialist markets really. You can even go to your corner shop type Tesco's Express or something like that, and you should be able to get most of the stuff because they have a wide variety nowadays. So we're just going to warm that through. Get the lentils up to temperature. And then, if you have a little grater on your grater, that will be great. You just see what I did there? Comedy genius. I don't, so I'm just going to use the larger one. And we just want a little bit of your old zesty friend, because that will add a bit of zing to the actual finished dish. So we're going to get a bit of seasoning for it, so we've got some saltiness from that. The honey will give it sweetness, and you want to try and balance that out with a little bit of zing from me lemon. So there's a bit of lemon zest in there, so it's bigger than I would like, to be fair, but doesn't matter. It's only me in it, and I like it like that, so not like we've got the Queen come in or anything. We'll do what we want. So it's a very simple dish. Now what I'm going to do is get a bulgur, which I've drained. Pop that in with it. give it a little mix up. So we get all the flavours from it. So it didn't actually add a lot of flavour to it, it's just a oxo, so I didn't add any salt to that because otherwise you'll find that the stock cubes will overdo it. And what I do though is I do have my Mexican elbow, or my weighted my lemon squeezy thingy. So just pop that in. I always pop it in upside down the wrong way because I find you're going to get more juice out. I don't know if anyone else does that. If you do, you can leave it in the comments below. If anyone decides to watch this, that'd be great. And do the same again. So now that part of the dish is pretty much done. It's got its flavour, it's got its lemon. Just going to allow that just to cook out for a couple more minutes. So now I'm going to, sorry for the cooking angles today. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to add some honey to the butternut squash. I'm only going to put it with the butternut squash because there's no point doing it with the aubergine as well. So what we'll do is, it's all going to be incorporated in a while anyway, which you will see. Just get that out of the oven. So we'll pop it down here so you can see what's going on. I can take my honey and it's going to drizzle a bit of honey over that. That would also help give it a bit of colour. So might use a bit much there, but hey, never mind. It is yummy. Just give that a little mix up. So all this liquid, which is got all of that ground coriander, and I'm using olive oil. It's a Mediterranean style dish anyway. And now that honey will sweeten that butternut sauce, which is already sweet, up anyway, and that can go in for another 10 minutes or so until it's ready. And also in the garden what we got is some beautiful mint, so we're going to use some of that through the dish just to give it a little bit of minty goodness, and put some in with the feta, and we're just going to finish with a little bit of Greek yogurt. So got our feta and our mint, and all I'm going to do is get a little bit of that lemon I've already used, get a tiny bit more lemon juice out, just give it a little bit of zing, cut through a little bit of the fat of the feta, and then we just mix that quite simply, just knock it in together. It just basically turn it into like a paste, tiny bit of olive oil, like I say, just turn it into a paste. Simple. Because this is going to go over the top of the finished dish. Try and keep it all in the bowl. Probably could have used a bigger bowl, but there you go. This is not your TV cooking program, you know, this is your man in the shed doing this wacky world of cooking. Anyway, so the moment has come where the aubergine and the butternut squash are now ready. So just take them out. They get more exciting than someone taking stuff out of an oven. But there you go. So what I'm going to do now is move my camera. So everything is now ready to be put together. So I am going to use the pan I cooked the bulgur wheat in and put the lentil, bulgur wheat and onion, which has got the lemon zest in there and the lemon juice all in the pan together. This is no longer being cooked, this is just being put together. This is how easy a dish it is. So that's all in there. I'm then going to add my aubergine. So again, literally I'm going to pour that in there. Should get it all out, get the flavour out. That's what's great with a spatula. Definitely recommend some type of spatula. You can get every nook and cranny. So I'm just going to mix that all in now. And I'm going to get me butternut squash. Lots of liquid in here. That's fine because that'll give it a bit of juice. That's all flavour in there anyway. Give that a little mix up. So everything has got a bit of everything in it. So if you're vegan, add some herbs. Mint to be perfect for that. Add some coconut yogurt, that'll be perfect. Could also add some nuts and some seeds, or some apricots, dried apricots, something like that. That would also be nice. But I'm just going to add a little bit of Greek yogurt, just 1 spoonful. That'll be more than enough, and that'll just bind everything, bring it all together. Be good for the flavours. You don't have too much in there because well, you just don't. Just trust me on that. About a spoonful on there. It's still warm, and that is pretty special, to be fair. I'll just let that cool down now, and we will come back to that. But we do have another dish we're going to do. Never done this dish before. Got the oven on, got the ingredients. What can it be? Let's see. So we have another dish, which is going to be a spinach, ricotta and feta filo pie, pastry, whatever you want to call it. Very, very simple. So what we've got here is a pan. I'm just going to bring you down. There you go. Always a great user. So I've got it nice and hot. I'm going to get me spinach with a little bit of the old olive oil. So I need a touch of oil. Spinach. Quite a lot of spinach. So, because it will wilt down to pretty much nothing. So we just put the whole bag in there. It's a dish which has got lots of iron in, which is good. You could use spinach, you could use kale, you could use chard, anything that you like. There, it's a 500 gram, well, that's not, it's a big bag of spinach anyway. That's in there. Bit of salt. Not too much, you don't want to have it too salty, because the cheese will have a bit of salt in it anyway. And I got a little bit of stock here. That'll just help cook it down. You don't want to have too much in there. Just allow that to cook down. It won't take very long. Turning that just to make sure it doesn't burn. Put a lot of heat in there. What I'll do is I'll have the lid. And the lid will help it wilt. That's all we're after. We just want it to wilt down and become quite mushy. What we'll do then is we'll cool it down, we'll cut it up, and then I'll show you what we'll do next. Okay, so in our bowl we're just going to add some ricotta. So I've got a whole tub of ricotta there. What's that? 250 grams of ricotta, soft Italian cheese, half a block of the feta. Just crumbling that in. Nothing too complicated so far. Let's mix that in together. So again, we're going for Mediterranean style flavours here. And we've got our spinach. Okay, so we're just gonna get as much water out of the spinach as we can. And just drop it in. A lot of spinach doesn't go very far. The bag looks massive, you think, wow, feed a lot for that, but it literally just wilts down and doesn't actually have a lot, really retains a lot of water. So just make sure you squeeze as much of that out as you possibly can and just give that all a nice mix. Doesn't have to be perfect, okay, because this is going to go into the filling of our filo. Get it so it's a nice firm consistency. Okay. Okay, so we got our filo here. What I've also got is some clarified butter, which is butter which I've literally just melted. Now ideally you would have a brush. Guess what? I don't have a brush, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just use a spoon, and I'm double hard, so I'll use my fingers. Little bit of clarified butter on there, and then not too hot anyway. Just going to use the butter to stick it to the next sheet. We'll have a couple of sheets. And then any holes which may have been in that first one are now disappeared. And we're just going to rub that on there. And if you want to put some more on there, you can. If you don't, doesn't matter. What we're going to do is one more. Yeah, you're right. I reckon one more sheet. And we're just going to pop this into the middle. Not too close to the edge, because we want to fold that up. And make a couple, almost like a sausage roll. Really is what we're going to do. Wipe my hands, and we're just going to roll that little package up. And just a little bit of water. you don't need to necessarily use butter, it just tastes good. Let's fold those ends over. And we'll pop that onto a baking tray. Like that one. We will line it in a moment. If we've got any parchment paper, which we don't look like we do. There we go. Good job I can edit that one out. These videos would be terrible. Anyway, so bit of parchment paper on there. Pop it on. Because it's Filo pastry, it's not going to open up like a short crust or puff pastry. So we'll do another couple. So there you are. There is your butternut aubergine salad with a bit of feta, with some bulgur wheat and lentils and a bit of mint. It's nice and simple, nice and tasty, perfect for the summer. Enjoy. So there you are, there's your Filo parcel, which is stuffed with spinach, ricotta and feta. Let's have a quick cut open. It only takes 10 minutes to cook the pastry. And then you get a nice gooey inside. And that'll go perfect with your salad. Enjoy lunch. Have a nice day and see you, pals.